Draymond Green must be stopped. I've been covering Draymond and his hate toward the Knicks for the last few months. But recently, he's done something that I've never seen anyone do before. Not only did he recently take credit for Jalen Brunson's historic contract extension, but he found a way to hate on him taking that extension in the process. We're going to break down his recent comments and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Draymond Green takes credit for Brunson's contract extension. That's right. You heard me correctly. I didn't misspeak. He is actually taking credit for Brunson's contract extension. He's been a hater for the Knicks for the last few months, criticizing each and everything they were doing during the postseason, going against them, not believing in them, and each and every time the Knicks proved him wrong, he kept hating on them. He never wavered. And now, this time, he went even beyond that. I've never seen a hater do this before. He took credit for Brunson's contract extension, and in the process, he still hated on Brunson and criticized him for taking less. Let's break down his comments on Brunson and what he said about him taking that contract extension with the Knicks. Shout out to NBA Central for giving us the following information on the app X. According to them, Draymond Green believes Jalen Brunson followed his example by taking a pay cut. Draymond Green said this himself when he was speaking about this on a podcast. According to Draymond, he did the Draymond Green. I signed that 4-year contract for $100 million. If I waited, I could have gotten 4 for $180 million. But I needed to lock my money in. I'd rather lock in $100 million to know that I have that 100 than rather chasing that extra $60 million or $80 million and then I don't know if I get it or not. I just wasn't willing to take that risk. He did the Draymond Green? No, he didn't. Draymond Green was never Jalen Brunson. I never thought of Draymond Green as a superstar. I think of Jalen Brunson as a superstar. I never thought of Draymond Green leading the Warriors. I think of Jalen Brunson leading the Knicks. So the differences are so clear. It's not even close. He didn't do the Draymond Green thing. He did the Jalen Brunson thing. He is a superstar in this league, and he chose to take less to give the Knicks more flexibility moving forward. You didn't do that. Nobody on the Warriors did that. So nobody knows what Jalen Brunson's going through right now or what he's actually doing or the sacrifices that he made for his franchise. You might think you understand it. You might think it's the Draymond Green thing, but it's not. In fact, in reality, what it is, Jalen Brunson did his thing, and now you're trying to compare what you did to Jalen Brunson. That's what's really going on here. And that's the sad part, because you cannot compare the two. Like I just stated, you were never the superstar of your team, never the leading force of your team. Jalen is that and more. It's crazy to me that you're saying these comments right now, Dre, because it doesn't make any sense at all. You are delusional. Delusional Green should be your new nickname because these statements go out of the realm of what is even reality for you. Even though he's quick to compare what Brunson did to what he did in terms of taking less to stay with the franchise that they're on, he is very quick afterwards to criticize him for doing so because he said, he's not me. He's not Draymond Green. He's the first option for that Knicks team, so he shouldn't have taken less because it's guaranteed he would have got paid the money he wanted, whether he waited or not. This is what Green had to say about that. According to Draymond, Jalen may not be willing to take that risk, but he's different. You're the number one option on the Knicks. Not only are you the number one option on the Knicks, and that's cool, but the city of New York loves you. You are going to get that $250 million. All right, something had to give. Cool, I will take less, but he's the top guy. Let Josh Hart or somebody else take less. Like, they're in my role. Let somebody else take less. Guess what? Steph Curry didn't take a penny less, and neither did Klay Thompson take a penny less. If it's going to work, somebody will have to do it. I wasn't expecting them to take less. I don't know what he's doing. You don't know what he's doing? That's because you're not built like Jalen Brunson and you're not capable of understanding the level of sacrifice he made for the Knicks. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson didn't do it? You're right, because they're not built the same way Jalen Brunson is. Again, it is very rare, almost impossible for any superstar in this league to say no to guaranteed money. But that's exactly what Jalen Brunson did, because he's built of something that nobody in the NBA is built out of. Because I can't think of anybody else in the NBA who could do something like this other than Jalen Brunson. Jalen wants to win at the highest level, and he will sacrifice no matter what it takes, no matter what it costs, to put together a team that can compete for a championship year after year after year. And by doing so, he's also set an example, because now other players on this roster want to take less to keep this team together and follow Jalen Brunson's lead. That's what you do if you're a star player and you know you have to make sacrifices in this league to win. You don't understand it. You're not capable of understanding it. Neither are the Warriors. And you know what? I don't care if you understand it or not. But one thing you should never do is disrespect him for doing this. You don't understand it? Then why speak on it? If you don't know what he's doing, then why talk about it in the first place? It's obviously beyond you. Jalen Brunson making this move, this historic sacrifice, is legendary for a number of reasons. But for one main reason, it's one of the only times we've seen a superstar recognize that in order to get better, in order to keep the team we have in place right now, to stay competitive, to win that championship for years and years to come, you have to make sacrifices, including sacrifices that have to deal with money. And Brunson had no issue with doing that at all. The main reason why is because the Knicks have always treated him fairly, have always been open and honest with him, and have always given him the most money they could possibly give him when he's been eligible for it. But Brunson accepting the contract is a huge part of this as well, too. Because just because I give you this contract extension and I want you to take it, doesn't mean you will and doesn't mean you have to. Like Draymond Green said, he could have taken less and he did, but he didn't have to. He could have waited and got more money. I don't know why he waited and did that. According to him, nobody else would do it, so he had to. Well, you know, Dre, that sounds like a problem with your team, not a problem with the Knicks. Because it sounds like if you had a superstar player like Jalen Brunson on your team, he would have taken less, and you would have taken less to follow in his lead. Klay probably would have taken less to follow in his lead. But that didn't happen. Klay followed exactly what Steph did. Just like how Mikal, Julius Randle, and everybody on the Knicks are going to follow what our superstar did in Jalen Brunson. Don't try to understand it, because you can't, Dre. You can criticize it, which you have been doing each and every single time you can. Why the Knicks are so important to you blows my mind. Because for me, if you're not a hater, if you don't care about New York and what we're doing and what goes on over here, then why do you talk about us so much? Why do you complain about us so much? Why are you watching what we're doing so much? Oh, I know why. Because we're a threat. You're scared because you see what you guys used to be. You used to be a dynasty, and now not so much. And the Knicks are starting to turn into a dynasty, and that must kill you. Because if anybody in the world can recognize what it looks like for a team to start turning into a dynasty, it's a former dynasty in the Warriors with Draymond Green. So in a way, thanks for the respect, and also thanks for acknowledging that the Knicks are a team that you are worried about. But also, stop. Please just stop talking about the Knicks, because every time you open your mouth, you look more foolish and more deluded, more delusional. It just doesn't make sense. Brunson wasn't following you. Newsflash for you. Nobody is trying to follow what you did. Nobody on the Knicks is trying to follow what you did. We're following our own path, writing our own story. We don't want the Warriors story. We saw that. We saw how it went. Great for you guys. We want our own. Let us write our own. You may not understand the moves that we make. You may hate it, but you know what? It's not your money. It's his money. And if he wants to do that to help the Knicks, let him do it. That's a sacrifice. You wouldn't know what that feels like, would you, Dre? You took $80 million less. Were you told to do that? Were you expected to do that? Was it because you were the third best player on the team at the time? And because of that, you were supposed to do that? Or why didn't you think about yourself? Why don't you say, well, Steph didn't do it and Clay didn't do it, so why should I have to do it? Why didn't you follow in their lead? Oh, you didn't. You tried to do whatever you wanted to do because you thought it was best for the team. You did it on your own merit. Sounds a lot like what Jalen Brunson did, but the reasoning is completely different. That's why it's not the Draymond Green thing. It's the Jalen Brunson thing. Please put some respect on Jalen, respect on the sacrifice that he made, and respect on this Knicks team, because we are running through the league next season. And I can't wait till we face the Warriors, because the number one name on the whiteboard is going to be Draymond Green. And right next to him, it's going to be shut him down. And we have the players on our roster that's going to make life horrible for you. Good luck next season. See you then. But what about you guys? What do you think about Draymond Green and his delusional comments basically stating that he's taking credit for Jalen Brunson's contract extension and in some way found a way to hate on Brunson in the process and stated he should not have taken less? He would have got the money anyways, and somebody like Josh Hart should have possibly taken less. Let me know how you feel about those comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.